Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Distance Learning Program. It's great to be here with you today, and I hope you're enjoying the videos. I also hope that you and your families are all doing well. The focus of today's lesson is saving and spending. Saving and spending. And when you think about the meanings of those two words, savings is keeping your money, and spending means that you're going out and buying things with your money. So you're losing your money by buying things. That's spending. So these two words are opposites. Opposites means they're words that have totally different meanings, like strong and weak, or beautiful and ugly. They're opposites. They're 180 degrees apart. So remember, opposites are words that have totally different meanings. Synonyms are words that have the same meaning. So these words, saving and spending, are opposites. Now, I'd like to also talk about the words lend and borrow. Lend and borrow. If you lend a friend some money, that means that you give your friend some money to use for a while, and they will repay you. They will repay you later. But if you borrow money, that means that you go to someplace like a bank, possibly, or you go to a friend and you ask your friend if they can give you some money for a short time, and then you will repay it. So remember, lend means you're giving money, and borrow means you're receiving money. Okay? So let's look at some ways of borrowing money. Ways of borrowing money. Think about how you might be able to go and get some money from someplace or somewhere. And one place would be from a friend, like I just mentioned. Asking a friend is a way to borrow money. You can say, do you have $100 that I could borrow for just a short time? And then later on, you will repay it. You can also go to a bank. Going to a bank is a way to borrow money. You can take out a loan at a bank. You can use a credit card. Credit cards allow you to purchase things like products or items at a store, and then you can pay the money back to the credit card company later. And finally, buying in installments. Buying in installments. That's another way that you can borrow money. That means that you don't pay for the item at the time that you buy it, but later on you make monthly payments or maybe quarterly payments, and those are called installments. What are some ways of saving money? One way to save money is by opening a savings account at a bank. You can pay off credit cards, and that helps you save money by not having to pay as much interest on the credit cards. And finally, you can use cash to pay for items instead of using credit. Paying cash means that you don't have to worry about paying interest on the money that you're spending. So if you borrow money on a credit card or you go to a bank to borrow the money, you have to pay interest. But when you pay cash, you don't pay any interest. So you're saving money that way. Now, if everybody can turn to page 84 in the green book, in the Ventures3 book, that's this one. Please turn to page 84 and let's look at the pictures for lesson A. The title says shopping. So this lesson is going to be about shopping. So it says, what do you see? Look at picture A. We have a bunch of cars that are all in a line here. So this could be a place where you would go and buy cars, since it says shopping at the top of the page. So most likely It's either a new car dealership or maybe a used car dealership. These could be used cars or new cars. Picture number 2. Here's a man with a tie, and he's indoors. He's inside, it looks like, and there's a car behind him. So, since the man's wearing a tie and he's reaching his hand out to shake someone's hand, he might be a salesperson. And it looks like he might be on the showroom floor at a car dealership because there's a car that's inside the building. So I would say that he's probably a salesman at a car dealership. Picture number 3. It shows a man and a woman. They're probably a couple, maybe a man and his wife. And they're outside in a parking lot or a lot full of cars. So it probably is the parking lot where they keep all of the used cars or the new cars at a dealership. So these people are probably shopping for a new car. They could be shopping for a used car. Picture number 4. In the picture, you can see words like power seat adjuster, front passenger, 4-way. I can't read that word. It's a little blurry here. But then it says power outlet, 120 volts, ultrasonic ultrasonic rear parking assist, power sunroof, airbags, rear seat mounted, premium 9-speaker system. So these are all features of a car, and this is probably the sticker on the car that shows all of the different features. And you can tell that it's probably the sticker on the car because it shows the total vehicle price at the bottom. It's $29,785, so that's probably the cost of the new car. And then finally, picture number 5 shows a flag with used cars written on the flag. So this is frequently seen at a used car lot where they sell used cars. So this is the sticker on a brand new car, and over here you would find used cars or cars that had previous owners. All right, now that we've looked at all of the different pictures, I'm going to go to the back of the book and I'm going to read the conversation. And if you'll turn to the back of the book, you can look at Unit 7 and you can follow along as I read the conversation between Julie and Ken. Julie, look at this car. Automatic transmission, air conditioning, leather seats, sunroof, power windows. It's got everything, and it's only $27,500. Ken, are you crazy? With tax and fees, that's about $30,000. We can't afford $30,000 for a car. Where are we going to get that? Where are we going to get the money? The balance in our savings account is less than $8,000. No problem. Look here. It says special financing available. Only 4% interest with 60 months to pay off the loan. 60 months to pay. That's 5 years. We're going to pay for that car every month for 5 years. Ken, you know I'm afraid of getting into debt. We have bills to pay every month, and we need to save money for college for the kids. Well, Julie, tell me, do we need a car or don't we need a car? Our old one always needs repairs, and it's okay. We do need a car, but we don't need a new car. We could look for a used car. Let's go across the street and look. I'm sure we can find a good used car for $10,000 or even less than that. Yeah, but Julie, look at this car. It's a beauty. We should get it. We can buy the car on credit. Everybody does that. No, not everybody. My father always paid cash for everything. He didn't even have a credit card. Well, your father never had any fun, and I'm not your father. All right, so that's the conversation between Julie and Ken. And now we're going to go and look at page 85 to part 2 where it says listen, and let's see if we can answer the questions. It says number 1, who are the speakers? Well, if you look at the names in the conversation, they were Julie and Ken. So it's the couple that is shown in the picture, probably picture number 3 right here, Julie and Ken. Then it says, what are they talking about? Well, they're talking about whether to buy a new car or a used car. And Ken wants to buy the new car, but Julie, she's a little afraid of getting into debt, and I think she would prefer to buy the used car. Next, in part B, it says, listen again, complete the chart. Number 1, cost of a new car. And the sticker price was $27,500. Now, that does not include the taxes and the fees. So if you think about the cost of the car with the taxes and fees included, Julie said that would probably be $30,000. So the answer for number 2 is $30,000. 3, money in the savings account. And the answer for that is less than $8,000. 4, interest rate, percentage. That symbol after interest rate is the percent sign. It means the percentage of the interest. And the amount that they said in the conversation was 4%. 5, months to pay. And the answer is 60 months. And finally, number 6, cost of a used car. The used car was $10,000. Next, let's turn to part 3, after you listen. I'm going to read the words in the gray box, so please follow along with me and you can pronounce the words after me. Afford, balance, cash, credit, debt, financing, interest, pay off, and suggests. Now I'm going to read the words in the green box, and I'm going to fill in the blanks with the correct word from the gray box that we just read. So if you follow along, I'm going to read the words in the green box. Ken and his wife, Julie, are looking at cars. Ken wants to buy a new car that costs over $27,000. Julie thinks they can't afford to spend that much money. The balance in their savings account is less than $8,000. She's afraid of getting into debt. But Ken says they can't get financing to help pay for the new car. The interest rate is low, and they can take 5 years to pay off the loan. Ken isn't worried about buying things on credit. Julie disagrees. She suggests that they could buy a used car. She says her father never had a credit card. He always paid cash for everything. Now, for part B, you can talk with a partner and answer the following questions. It says, what things do people often buy on credit? That means, what do you borrow money to buy sometimes? And the second question is it a good idea to buy things on credit? Why or why not? So if you look down here in the blue box at the bottom of the page, it says useful language. To buy on credit equals to buy something now and pay for it later. And many times people use loans or credit cards to do that. All right, now that we've finished with Unit 7A, I'm ready to go to the next unit. And I would like for us to turn to page 86. And we're going to talk about the words could and should. Could and should. And we're going to begin by talking about this situation. It says, some students have trouble understanding people when they speak English. Some students have trouble understanding people when they speak English. How can they improve their listening skills? That means, what are some ideas that could be used to help improve their listening skills? When you say, how can they improve their listening skills, that means, give me some ideas about how they could improve their listening skills. So, one way it says they could listen to the audio. By listening to the audio in the book, if you have a compact disc player, you can listen to the audio, or you can go and there are links if you go to the Ventures website that can take you right to the conversations. So one way to improve your listening skills would be to listen to the audio. So you would use the sentence, they could listen to the audio. Another idea would be they could also ask native speakers to speak more slowly. When you ask a native speaker to speak more slowly, sometimes the speaker will enunciate or pronounce the words more clearly for you, and you can understand better. Here's another idea. They could learn 5 new words every day. By learning 5 new words every day, you improve your vocabulary, and that helps you understand other speakers. Next it says, use the word should. So it says, what should students do when they can't understand English very well by listening? If they want to improve their listening skills, what should English learners want? What should they do? Okay, so here are some ideas for something that a person should do, or you could say what they need to do. And here's an example. It says, one thing they should do is they should study more. They should study more if they want to improve their listening skills. Or you could say they should listen to the audio. And that means you're giving a stronger suggestion. When you say someone should do it, that means that they need to do it. So when you use could, you're basically giving someone an idea about something they could do. It's a suggestion. When you use should, you're basically saying that it's an idea that they should do, or it's necessary, or they need to do it. So should is stronger than could. Could is just merely a suggestion, but should means you're suggesting that the person needs to do it. Now, if you'll turn to page 86, we're going to look at part A. I'm sorry, B1, grammar focus, could and should. It says, use could to give suggestions, use should to give advice. Should gives stronger advice than could. So just remember, should gives stronger advice. Could is just a suggestion, but when you use should, it's stronger. It means it's something the person needs to do. And here are some examples. Could for suggestions. You could get a smaller car and save money. He could keep his money in a savings account. Here are some examples of using should for advice. What should I do? You should open a savings account. That means you need to. It's something that would be very wise to do. All right, I'm going to go to the next section, part 2, in the next video. So please tune in for the next video, and we're going to work on section 2. Have a great day.